2022, hopefully the start of a great new year, and with it, I have some New Year's resolutions. I'm making this video as a way to record the goals that I will go after this year. I'm also doing this to add a little social pressure on me to give that added little push to help me achieve these objectives. When 2022 ends, I'll revisit this list and see which of these resolutions I've turned into reality. Currently, my apartment is decent. I live in a great neighborhood. I don't pay a ton of money for my place, but I do have roommates and I just want my own space. Now, I don't need the fanciest apartment, but I just want my own space, a place that I can call my own and decorate and arrange to my liking. It just gets a little annoying having to wait to use the washroom or kitchen or deal with people who don't pick up after themselves. I just want to live on my terms. This will be a challenge to accomplish. NYC apartments cost a ton of money, and I don't have a lot of money, but I'm willing to work for it. It has been years since I've been on a date. This is an area of my life that I've really neglected. My last official date was with this woman who is a total boss. She had a Harvard MBA, could play like 5 instruments, and she had a very high-paying job. She was great, but here I was struggling to make ends meet, and I was just sweating the moment that the bill would come at the end of the date. So after that night, I just vowed to get my life in order. I just felt I wasn't very attractive at that time, and I put off dating. And I'm not talking about physical attributes, I'm talking about where my life was at the time. I needed to focus on myself. Subsequently, I did make some big changes. I achieved my dream of moving to New York City. However, just months after I moved here, the pandemic happened, and that kind of squashed the whole dating thing. But I feel like now is the time to really get back out there. I'm still struggling with money. Even though I make more than I once was, NYC is expensive. And sometimes I think, when I only have so much money to spend, do I want to risk spending it on a date when there's a really good chance it won't work out? Or do I spend it on myself going to a restaurant that I'm almost guaranteed to enjoy? In addition, I'm trying to make it in the food world, to be a critic, to document these amazing restaurants I go to, and that takes money. These are just some of the factors going through my head. I mean, the fact is, I've dealt with a lot of rejection on the dating front, so I'm very hesitant on this topic. Still, I feel like I've got to set some of those reservations aside. While I'm still trying to make it here in NYC, I feel like dating would be a good mental boost for me because I do get lonely. Or it could be terrible for my mental health if I'm constantly rejected, but I've got to try. Now, I'm not putting any pressure on myself to find a girlfriend or wife, but rather I just want to enjoy the ride and see what comes of it. I've been wanting to get a new camera for a while now. The thing is, with the cameras I do have, I make an adequate amount of money with them, but that income first has to serve my necessities like rent and food. And I don't have a lot of money left over. And cameras are really expensive. Ideally, the camera I would like to get is the Canon R5, and that's almost $4,000. Not to mention the lenses are thousands of dollars more. But I really love photography and filmmaking, and a new camera will certainly make things easier in certain situations and just help me produce better work. I absolutely love running. I love running in races, and marathons have been the most rewarding for me. So far, I've run 11 marathons and one 50K ultra marathon. I usually do at least 1 to 2 a year, and mostly in the fall. The last marathon I ran, however, was in 2019. Because of the pandemic, there was pretty much no races in 2020, so that year wasn't an option. Last year, however, was a little different. However, there is still a lot of uncertainty. With marathons, you need to register months in advance, sometimes almost even a year in advance. And with how the world was last year, I just wasn't sure if it was the right time. I mean, during the summer, things were looking great, but then the Delta variant hit, and things just didn't look good. It's really hard to predict the future these days, but I'm gonna register for a marathon this year. Whatever happens, happens, and I'm gonna hope for the best. I get so much pride from running in these races, and having a physical challenge to go after really benefits my life. The most books I've ever read in a year was 42, and I want to beat that. Now, I know I could easily achieve this by just reading short books, but that's not how I like to read. I love variety, and I'm not going to limit myself from good books that may just be too long. I'm also very careful not to spend an inordinate amount of time living vicariously just through books. But I do think through proper time management that this goal is very achievable. I get a lot through books. Knowledge, new ways of thinking, a chance to relax. That's why in 2022, I want to make sure that I've read more books than I've ever have. I feel like I don't put as much effort into my clothing and grooming as I should, and I want to change this. When I dress better, I feel better, and when I feel better, I'm more likely to be successful at things. I want to do this not so much for other people, but more so for myself. At the same time, however, this may help with my dating goals. I have to get rid of the attitude of only putting effort into my appearance when I go out. Like I said, this is mainly for me. I have to shave more often, put more care into my grooming, maybe buy some more clothes, try some new looks, but overall, I just really need to put more effort into how I look. Next to eating, traveling is my absolute favorite thing to do. With the pandemic and my money situation, this has been really hard to accomplish. While I've recently been able to do some nice travel stateside, and I hope to continue doing that in the following year, I get so much more out of going to a foreign country. My last trip abroad was to Morocco at the start of 2019, so it's been a while. I've always been at my absolute best self when traveling, so I really have to make this goal happen this year for my own mental well-being. I've had so much fun making these YouTube videos these past couple of years. While I have no intentions of being a full-time YouTuber, like anything I do in life, I still want to do it well, so I set goals for myself. This year, I want to get up to 10,000 subscribers, but like everything else I do in my life, I want to do it my way. I know it would be much easier to get subs and views if I were more consistent in the types of videos that I post. Like this one, not many are likely to watch it, but this is something that I want to make. I'll do things on my own terms, but to the best of my ability in the very greatest fashion. Currently, I have 1,754 subscribers, which means I need 8,246 more to achieve my goal. I would really appreciate it if you would ask 8,246 of your closest friends to subscribe to my channel and watch my videos. Thank you. Over my life, I've been to 59 Michelin-starred restaurants. I want to bring that number up to 65 this year. I think this is very achievable, but fine dining restaurants seem to be getting more and more expensive these days, so I really have to work hard to get that money. Clearly, it's pretty obvious how much I love food, and by going to starred establishments brings me such joy. Yeah, this goal is really just about living a good life and growing my culinary experiences. This is something that I've really been bad at in recent years. I love drawing, I love painting, I just love the act of creating. While I've certainly been able to exercise my creativity through video and photography, it's not the same as being able to work on something with my hands. This is something I really want to accomplish this year. So that's it. These are some of the main goals that I will be going after. Of course, new objectives may pop up during the course of the year and I'll adjust accordingly, but these are some of the main things that I want to focus on. Now, a lot of these resolutions can be achieved quite simply by just spending money, so I'm going to have to work quite hard for it. This year, I want to try new things, learn more, spend my time better, and emerge as a superior individual. So 2022, let's do this.